sound sentence can end a life. One sentence can save it. The difference, who spoke and when. There are moments in life where you're standing on the edge, silent, broken, or confused. And then a voice cuts through the noise, a phrase, a quote, a line you never forget, words that hit you so deep they shake something awake inside you, and just like that, your direction changes, your fight returns, your spirit stands back up. It's not magic, it's not random, it's the power of words, the kind that aren't just heard, they're felt. Because when life slaps you with failure, when silence becomes your loudest scream, all it takes is a sentence from a teacher, a stranger, a parent, a preacher, a mentor, or even yourself. You see, words are more than sound. They are spiritual blueprints. They shape how you think, what you expect, and how you fight. One wrong word can bury potential for decades. But one right word, that can resurrect a dream that's been dead since childhood. People think it's action that changes lives. Yes, action matters, but action is born from belief. And belief, that starts with a word. I believe in you. You're better than this. This is not how your story ends. You have more in you. You are enough. Those aren't just affirmations. Those are soul weapons. Truth triggers. They slice through lies, demolish fear, and give direction to the lost. So now I ask you, what words did someone speak into you that made you rise again? What line brought you back from the edge? And even deeper than that, what words are you speaking into others, into your family, your children, your own reflection? Because make no mistake, you're either cursing your future with your mouth or you're calling it to life. This message isn't just another speech. It's a reminder that what comes out of your mouth echoes in your destiny. If this already hit you, then share it. Subscribe now. Because what's coming next might just be the words that change your life. What you say to yourself becomes you. Understand that. Every word you speak carries direction, intention, and power. You can't talk like a loser and expect to win. You can't curse your life and pray for a miracle at the same time. The universe doesn't just respond to effort, it responds to energy. In words, they're energy in motion. Too many people wake up and declare defeat before they even try. I'm not good enough. Nothing ever works out for me. I always mess things up. These aren't just phrases, they are commands to your future. Spoken shackles. You are programming your path with every word that leaves your lips. And the scary part? You don't even realize it. You were born with the power to create, not just with your hands, but with your voice. That's why silence during struggle is dangerous. If you don't speak over your life with faith, life will speak over you with fear. And fear speaks loud. Now flip the script. Think about the days you said, I got this, even when you didn't. The days you told yourself, this won't break me, and it didn't. Words shape your response to pain. They push you through failure. They drag you back to your feet when everything says stay down. That's not coincidence. That's evidence of power. You can build a champion's life with a coward's vocabulary. You must speak like a warrior even when you're wounded. You must declare the outcome before you see it, because confidence is built in the dark, and words are the light that guide your steps. So watch your mouth, not just around others, but especially with yourself. You are always listening, and what you hear every day shapes what you become. Your destiny is not in someone else's hands, it's between your tongue and your thoughts. Start today. Speak like the version of you that refuses to quit. Say what you want to see. Declare it even when your life looks like chaos. That's not delusion, that's discipline. And those who practice it become unstoppable. Because in the end, the words you choose will either crown you or crucify you. One voice. That's all it takes to turn the tide of a generation. You don't need a crowd. You don't need a mic. You don't need a stage. You just need truth and the guts to speak it. Throughout history, the loudest movements started with the quiet courage of one individual who decided to say what others were too scared to whisper. But think about it. Every revolution, every transformation, every awakening was triggered by one voice that refused to stay silent. That voice might have been shaking, it might have been alone, but it spoke anyway because deep down it knew silence is safe, but it never changes anything. You see, there's a reason your voice feels like a threat to the world. It's because when truth gets spoken from a soul on fire, systems start shaking, chains start breaking, lives start shifting. And the world doesn't want that kind of noise. That's why it tries to shut you up with fear, with doubt, with rejection. But understand this clearly. Your voice is a gift, not a weapon of destruction, but of awakening. You may not see the ripple effect of your words now, but somewhere, someone is waiting for exactly what you've been too scared to say. They're drowning in darkness, hoping for a sentence, a spark, a sign that tells them, you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not finished. You could be that voice for your brother, for your sister, for a stranger, for yourself. And don't think it has to sound perfect. The most powerful voices are the ones that come from pain, not perfection. They speak from experience, not ego. They come from the place you almost died in, but survived. And because you survived, you now have something sacred to say. So speak. Speak with clarity. Speak with purpose. Speak when your voice trembles, because someone's breakthrough is tied to your bravery. You may never know how far your words travel, but trust this, they will travel. Because one voice, when it's real, raw, and ready, can echo through eternity. Sticks and stones may break bones, but words can shatter souls. Don't let anybody lie to you about that. Some people are walking around with smiles on their faces, but wounds in their spirit, because someone's careless sentence coughed them up years ago. A parent's disappointment, a teacher's mockery, a partner's rejection. One phrase that still plays on repeat in the back of their mind. Not good enough. You'll never be anything. You're just like your father. Why can't you be more like them? You hear that once, you bleed. You hear it often, you break. These words don't just float in the air, they sink into the soul. They root, they become belief systems. And broken belief systems create broken lives. That's why so many people sabotage their future. Because they're still living under the curse of somebody else's voice. Understand something real. Words are seeds. And every seed has fruit. If you've been planting negativity, bitterness, sarcasm, and shame into people's hearts, don't be surprised when those hearts start to rot. You don't need to hit somebody to destroy them. You just need to speak like their pain doesn't matter. That alone will bury them. But here's the good news. If broken words can destroy a life, then healing words can rebuild it. You can reverse a decade of damage with just a few real moments. One honest apology, one sincere compliment, one truth that breathes life back into someone who forgot how to hope. Your mouth is either a weapon or a healer, a curse or a covering. And every day you choose which one it's going to be, especially with the people closest to you, your spouse, your children, your friends, and most of all, yourself. So check your words, check your tone, check your timing. Don't speak just to vent. Speak to lift. Even when you're correcting someone, do it with intention, not destruction. Be firm, but don't be brutal. Because the wrong words at the wrong time can break a life, but the right words at the right time, they can resurrect it. Not every wound comes from what was said. Some scars were born in the silence. The words that should have been spoken but never were. The apology that never came, the encouragement that was held back, the love that stayed trapped behind pride. Silence has a sound, And sometimes that sound is louder than a scream. People remember what you didn't say. They remember the days they needed a voice and all they got was distance. They remember the moments when a hug would have spoken volumes, but instead they got a cold shoulder. Silence when it matters most can feel like betrayal, especially from someone you needed to believe in you. It's not just about what we say wrong, it's also about what we don't say at all. There are people right now walking through storms you don't even see. They're holding it together with duct tape and prayer. And they're not asking for a miracle, they're just hoping someone notices. Someone cares, someone says, I see you, I hear you, you matter. But too often we stay silent, we assume they know, we wait for the perfect moment. We let fear stop our expression. And in doing so, we let the enemy of silence steal what our voice could have saved. Your silence can be misinterpreted. It can sound like rejection, like indifference, like abandonment. So don't hide behind it. Don't convince yourself that people should just know. They don't. And sometimes your silence tells them the exact opposite of what you really feel. You never know what someone's holding on to. You never know how fragile their spirit is. One genuine sentence might be the difference between them giving up and holding on. So if it's in your heart, speak it. Don't let pride, fear, or insecurity choke out the words someone's soul is begging to hear. And this goes for yourself too. You can't stay silent with your own soul. Speak truth into your pain. Speak life over your purpose. Don't let fear mute your healing. Because in a world full of noise, silence isn't always peaceful. Sometimes it's the loudest pain of all. You ever wonder why some people never get off the ground, no matter how much talent they have? It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they're weak. It's because the voice inside their head is their biggest enemy. That inner dialogue, that's the steering wheel of your life. Doesn't matter how nice the car is. If the wheel's broken, you're crashing every time. Your thoughts are not just thoughts, they become your words. Your words become your beliefs, and your beliefs, they shape every decision you make, every risk you take or don't take, every battle you fight or surrender to. What you say to yourself in silence determines how loud you live in the world. Some people can't move forward because they keep replaying old tapes, childhood wounds, past failures, mistakes that were never forgiven. And they've let that internal narrator become a prison warden. You're not smart enough. You always mess things up. They don't really care about you, over and over again, until it becomes their truth. But here's what they don't teach you in school. You are not your thoughts. You're the one who hears them. And if you've been hearing lies, it's time to rewrite the script. Start talking to yourself like you matter, like your purpose matters, like your future is worth fighting for. Talk to yourself like someone who's tired of crawling through life with their head down. Speak to yourself with the same fire you'd use to pull your friend out of a burning house. That's how serious it is. Because you have to challenge that voice when it lies. You have to argue with it when it tells you to give up. You have to speak louder than your insecurities. Because they will scream, look in the mirror and speak life. Say, I'm not finished. Say, I'm learning. Say, I still have time. Say, I will not die with this potential still in me. Because until your inner voice aligns with your purpose, you'll keep driving in circles, headed nowhere fast. When you're gone, people won't just remember what you did, they'll remember what you said. Your legacy isn't built only in actions, it's etched into hearts through conversations, through the moments when your words hit deeper than a lesson ever could. Your voice becomes a soundtrack that plays in the lives of those you touched long after your body is no longer here. A father's words can neither build a kingdom inside his child or burn it down before it's ever built. A mentor's guidance, a mother's encouragement, a leader's command. These moments echo across generations, not just in memories, but in decisions. Your son will face a wall one day, and in that moment, he'll hear your voice. The question is, what will it say? Your words live longer than you. They become instructions, warnings, affirmations, reminders. They show up in your absence and speak for you when you're no longer in the room. Some people are still chasing healing because of the final words someone spoke before walking out. Others are still rising because someone told them they were born for more. That's the weight of your vocabulary. You're writing your will every day, and not just on paper, but on hearts, on souls. With every sentence you speak, you're either leaving bricks to build someone's future or ashes they'll have to sweep up. Think about that. What will your children say you taught them, not just through lessons, but through tone, through silence, through that one sentence they replay when life knocks them down? What will your friends say about you when your name gets brought up 10 years from now? What emotional residue are you leaving behind? If you want your life to mean something after you're gone, start being intentional with your words while you're still here. Don't just speak truth, speak legacy. Speak with eternity in mind. Speak with weight. Speak like someone who understands that every sentence is a seed, and every seed outlives the sower. Because when the dust settles and your name is just a name, the world will still be hearing echoes. The only question is, what will they hear? You want a new life? Start with a new language before anything changes around you. Your income, your relationships, your habits. Your words must change first. Because what you speak reveals what you expect. And what you expect shapes what you experience. You can't keep saying, I'm just surviving, and expect to start thriving. You can't keep calling yourself broken and expect to heal. That's not just negativity, it's identity. The words you use to describe your life become the ceiling of your growth. You trap yourself inside a vocabulary that was never meant for where you're going. People talk about changing their circle, their job, their city, but they forget to change the language in their own mouth. And that's why everything looks different but feels the same. Because if your voice still speaks from fear, doubt, and scarcity, then it doesn't matter how far you travel, you'll still be stuck in the same mental prison. Language is your first form of leadership. Before others follow you, you follow your own voice. That's why champions don't just train harder, they talk differently. They speak with clarity, with conviction, with vision. Even when they're losing, they talk like winners. Not because they're delusional, but because they understand that the tongue is the rudder of the soul. Where your words go, your life follows. So if you're serious about change, listen to yourself. Audit your vocabulary. Replace I can't with I will. Replace maybe with definitely. Replace I'm not ready with I'm becoming who I need to be. Start catching yourself every time you shrink, and instead choose words that stretch you. Grow into your next level with language that forces you to rise. Because nothing shifts externally until something shifts internally. And that shift always starts with speech. Words that wake something up. Words that ignite a decision. Words that make your experience